welcome to the Deep Dive. We're taking a close look today at a really significant global shift, the increasing number of older people around the world.
Yeah, and it's having some major impacts, right? Especially, it seems, on places like Thailand, particularly their tourism and hospitality sector.
Exactly. It's a
Yeah.
huge demographic wave, really.
Mhm.
And it's bringing, well, both challenges and some pretty unique possibilities for a country that's already such a big tourist destination.
It's not just a small change, it's fundamental.
Right. We've got some interesting research here that actually digs into how this global aging trend is affecting Thailand's tourism businesses directly.
Okay.
So our goal for this deep dive is to really get our heads around this demographic shift, what it means for Thailand's travel scene, provide some useful insights for anyone interested in where tourism is heading.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
Let's start with the big picture, this graying population idea. What's really driving it?
Well, fundamentally, it boils down to two main things happening globally. First, people are just living longer lives, thanks to better healthcare, better living standards overall.
Right. Increased life expectancy.
Exactly. And at the same time, we're seeing birth rates falling pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
So you put longer lives together with fewer babies being born. The result is, naturally, a bigger slice of the population pie being made up of older people, hence the graying population.
And the numbers really back this up, don't they? The scale of it is quite something.
Oh, absolutely. It's pretty stark. If you look back, say, to 1990, about 9.2% of the world's population was 65 or older.
Okay, less than 1 in 10.
Right. Fast forward to 2019, it was up to 11.1%. Then just a year later, 2020, it hit 13.8%.
Wow, that's a noticeable jump in just 1 year.
It is, and the projections show it keeps climbing. They reckon it'll be around 16.9% by 2030.
So still trending upwards pretty steeply.
Definitely. And looking further out, where the projections for 2050 are kind of mind-boggling. Some suggest it could be as high as 33%.
A third. 1 in 3 people globally being 65 or older.
That's the projection. Imagine the implications. I mean, not just for things like pensions and healthcare, but think about the market potential there. A huge group with very specific needs.
Yeah, that really puts it into perspective. And is this happening evenly across the globe?
Not quite evenly, no. Different regions are at different stages. Currently, you tend to see the largest populations aged 65 and over in parts of Asia and the Middle East.
Which is interesting, especially considering Thailand's location in Asia.
Absolutely. It makes this trend particularly relevant for Thailand's tourism sector.
Right. So let's pivot to Thailand then. We know it's popular, but for anyone less familiar, what's the core appeal? What makes it such a magnet for tourists?
Well, Thailand's got this really strong, long-standing reputation. It's known globally for its incredible cultural heritage, vibrant traditions, stunning natural beauty.
Beaches, temples.
Exactly. You've got everything from amazing beaches and islands to ancient temples, lush jungles. But what's also key is the variety of tourism it offers.
It's not just one thing.
Not at all. You've got ecotourism for nature lovers, medical tourism, which is a big one, attracting people for high-quality healthcare.
Right, I've heard about that.
Then there's marine tourism, diving, snorkeling, beach holidays, and of course, cultural tourism, people wanting to explore the history and local life. It caters to a lot of different interests.
It sounds incredibly diverse.
Yeah.
But like any tourism-heavy economy, it's faced some bumps in the road, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure. Global events definitely hit hard. Think back to SARS in the early 2000s, and then, of course, the massive impact of COVID-19 more recently.
Yeah, that was devastating globally.
It really highlights how vulnerable the industry can be and just how crucial it is to be adaptable, resilient when these unexpected things happen.
Which kind of brings us neatly back to the demographic shift, this rise of the senior traveler. It sounds like it's becoming a really major factor now.
It absolutely is. It's not a niche market anymore. We're seeing a really significant increase in older people traveling internationally, including, quite elderly citizens as well.
And it's not just a random fluctuation. There are reasons behind it.
Definitely not random. There are solid drivers. Firstly, many seniors today are entering retirement in a better financial position than past generations. More disposable income.
Okay, so they have the means.
They often do. Secondly, there's a real desire, a strong motivation to use that retirement time for new experiences, making memories. Travel fits that perfectly.
Makes sense. Seize the day.
Exactly. And thirdly, you've got better healthcare keeping people active longer. Plus, the tourism industry itself is starting to offer more services specifically aimed at seniors, making travel easier and more appealing for them.
Right, so the infrastructure's starting to catch up a bit. And do they travel differently
Yeah.
compared to younger tourists?
Yes, the research suggests they often do. For instance, many seniors seem to prefer independent travel now rather than big organized tours. They want more flexibility.
More control over their trip.
Precisely.
Okay.
And they definitely prioritize comfort and convenience in where they stay. Accessibility is key, and understandably, health and safety measures are really important to them.
That's logical. Any other trends?
Yeah, an interesting one is the rise of intergenerational travel. Grandparents planning and leading trips with their kids and grandkids.
Oh, that's lovely, creating family memories across generations.
It is. And from an economic perspective, let's not forget, this demographic wields serious power. The 55-plus group holds a huge chunk of disposable income globally.
Much more than younger groups. Often?
Often, yes. They tend to have higher assets, too, so they're a really significant economic force in tourism. Businesses really need to pay attention to them.
Okay, so focusing back on Thailand, what's the direct effect on their tourism and hospitality when you have this growing group of potential senior travelers?
Well, the research puts it quite starkly. It says when older people can't or don't travel internationally, it hits Thailand's tourism and hospitality sectors hard. They call it a daunting revelation.
Daunting, okay. But there's an upside.
Yes. Immediately after that, the paper points to what it calls an unparalleled opportunity. Because of the sheer size and growing wealth of this older demographic, Thailand has this massive chance to rethink its strategy and really cater to them.
So turn the challenge into an opportunity.
Exactly. If Thailand can successfully tap into this senior travel market, the potential for economic growth is huge. And it's a big bag. But it means businesses need to adapt.
How so?
Across the board, really. Airlines, hotels, restaurants, tour operators. They all need to adjust their operations, their marketing, maybe even their physical infrastructure to meet what these older travelers need and want.
And what sort of specific needs are we talking about?
Well, things like more specialized tourist services.
Yeah.
Age-friendly infrastructure is a big one, easy access, ramps, elevators. Also, integrating health and wellness services into the travel experience.
Makes sense. Maybe even things like activities that bridge generations.
Yes, exactly. Opportunities for intergenerational connection during trips. It's about the whole experience, not just the basics.
So it's more than just putting in a ramp. It's a whole mindset shift. But the research also mentions some challenges Thailand faces right now.
It did. One point is that this focus on senior tourism is still relatively new in Thailand, really taking off around 2006. So there's still a way to go in terms of development.
Okay, so it's still evolving.
Right. And a really critical challenge is physical accessibility, ensuring that facilities, attractions, everything is genuinely accessible for seniors, especially those who might have disabilities or need mobility assistance.
And is there evidence this is an issue?
Yeah, the paper mentions some studies, surveys in Malaysia, audits in Thailand itself that found shortcomings. Problems with facilities for people with disabilities in tourist spots, even in some top hotels.
Right. So a clear area for improvement.
Definitely. And beyond the physical stuff, senior travelers also worry about other things. Access to good healthcare while traveling, personal safety, concerns about terrorism or political instability and general hygiene standards.
All very understandable concerns for any traveler, but maybe amplified for older people.
Potentially, yes. These can definitely influence decisions about where and if to travel.
Okay. So given these challenges, what can Thai businesses actually do? What are the strategies?
The research outlines a really useful guide called the Age-Friendly Thai Tourism and Hospitality Business Strategic Framework. It's built around 8 key elements for creating a great experience for older travelers.
8 elements. Okay, what's the first one?
First up is ease of use. This is all about making things straightforward. Accessible transport, well-designed buildings, user-friendly tech. Think obvious things like lifts and ramps, but maybe also voice-activated controls in rooms, that kind of thing.
Making the whole journey smoother, less hassle.
Exactly. Element 2 is maximum comfort. This covers comfortable hotel rooms, good amenities, but also crucially, staff who are trained to be sensitive to the needs of older guests. Maybe offering spacious rooms, beds that adjust, personalized service.
Got it. Comfort and sensitive service. What's next?
Third is safety. This means having clear emergency plans, solid safety policies, staff trained in first aid, and really clear, easy-to-see signage everywhere.
Basic, but essential for peace of mind.
Absolutely. Then number 4 is technology integration. We touched on this, things like easy online booking, maybe voice assistants in rooms, virtual concierges, smart room features, easy access to digital info.
Using tech to enhance convenience and support.
Right. 5th is targeted communication. This means marketing campaigns that specifically speak to seniors, showing what Thailand offers them. Also, building partnerships with travel agencies that specialize in senior travel or with senior citizen groups.
Reaching the right audience with the right message. Makes sense.
6th is enhanced experiences. This is about going beyond the basics. Maybe collaborating with local communities for age-friendly events or getting advice from experts like archaeologists or social workers to create richer cultural experiences tailored for seniors.
Adding unique value. What about staff?
That's number 7, specialized training. This is critical. Training staff on age sensitivity, effective communication, maybe how to use assistive tech, and really fostering empathy and respect.
The human element.
Yeah, now last one.
The 8th element is stakeholder collaboration. This basically means everyone needs to work together, government agencies, tourism boards, private businesses, to create a seamless and positive experience for senior travelers. It needs a joined-up approach.
A coordinated effort. That makes a lot of sense. The research also mentions specific communication channels.
Yeah, it noted that traditional media like TV still works well for reaching some seniors, but obviously online platforms are increasingly important too. And things like participating in senior travel fairs are valuable for direct engagement.
So a mix of channels.
Right. The main thing is providing clear, complete, easy-to-understand information about services that are good quality, affordable, and actually designed for what seniors need.
Okay, that framework sounds comprehensive. Let's talk practicalities. What kind of actual physical adaptations to services make a difference? Right, boots on the ground. So for transport, think accessible buses, trains, maybe boats. Stations need to be senior-friendly enough seating, clear signs, maybe even specialized transport services for those with mobility issues.
Getting around easily is fundamental.
It is. Then accommodation. Easy access everywhere, grab bars and bathrooms are a must, non-slip mats, maybe adjustable beds. Elevators need to be easy to find and use, and accessible help desks with staff who actually know how to assist seniors.
Focusing on safety and ease of movement within the hotel itself.
Exactly. Dining is another area. Restaurants need to cater to individual needs, dietary requirements, preferences. Staff need training and active listening. Menus could offer easy-to-chew options, clearly label allergens.
Thoughtful service in dining.
And beyond the basics, offering social activities tailored for seniors can be great, like gentle exercise classes, cultural trips, maybe interesting talks or lectures. It adds to the social side of the holiday.
Building community and engagement.
Yeah, and something really crucial, comprehensive travel insurance specifically designed for seniors. Covering potential health issues is key.
Absolutely essential. It sounds like personalization is a running theme here.
It really is, designing services with seniors in mind, not as an afterthought. Offering different types of trips, maybe multi-center stays or longer durations to allow for a slower pace. Concierge services at airports or train stations could be invaluable.
Thinking proactively about their journey.
Yes. Developing specific products focused on access, stress-free travel, health, and wellness. And ultimately, customer service staff need to be trained to recognize seniors, understand they might need things done at a different pace, offer assistance without being asked. It's about that personalized, attentive care.
It all comes back to understanding and empathy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which leads us back to training. How do you effectively train staff for this?
Well, the research really emphasizes that comprehensive training is the foundation for creating that age-friendly service culture. It's not just a tick box exercise.
What should the training cover?
Key areas are things like communication skills, how to speak clearly and respectfully with older people, developing genuine empathy, and a real focus on service excellence, going the extra mile.
And it needs to be ongoing.
Absolutely. Not just a one-off workshop. Think ongoing professional development, regular team meetings to share feedback and best practices, maybe specific workshops on age-friendly service techniques.
Learning from experience, too.
Definitely. Using feedback from older customers, perhaps through exit interviews, is incredibly valuable for finding out what worked and what doesn't, and driving improvements.
Makes sense. Listen to the customer.
Exactly. It's about building trust. Active listening, showing empathy. That's how businesses build a strong relationship with older customers. Training needs to cover communication nuances, cultural sensitivity, tailoring services.
And anticipating issues.
Yes, training staff to anticipate common challenges, maybe mobility issues, people less comfortable with technology, specific dietary needs, and then regularly checking. how customer service is doing, using that feedback loop, maybe those exit interviews again, for constant refinement.
So it's really about embedding an age-friendly culture throughout the entire organization.
Precisely. It's an inclusive approach.
Yeah.
And the payoff isn't just potentially tapping into a new market, it actually enhances the customer experience for everyone.
That's a great point. It seems like a significant undertaking, but clearly one with potentially huge benefits for Thailand's tourism and hospitality. As we wrap up this deep dive, what are the main takeaways?
I think there are a few core messages. First, the global aging population is growing fast. That's undeniable. Second, this presents both, real economic opportunities and significant operational challenges for Thailand's tourism sector.
Opportunity and challenge, hand in hand.
Right. And third, to really make the most of this shift, businesses and policymakers in Thailand absolutely need to be proactive. They need to adapt, innovate, and genuinely prioritize what older travelers need and want.
And if they do that, the potential is there for Thailand to become a real leader in senior travel.
Absolutely. If they genuinely understand and cater to this demographic, Thailand has a fantastic opportunity to not just boost its tourism economy, but also set a standard for age-friendly travel globally.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. As this demand for age-friendly tourism keeps growing, how is it going to reshape travel destinations and services worldwide in the years ahead? What sort of really innovative solutions might pop up to cater specifically to older travelers? And maybe think even broader, how could this major demographic shift ripple out and influence other industries way beyond just tourism? Definitely something fascinating to consider. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.